Shoot my shot like I'm Kraftovich. Ain't gon' do nothing with the rock more than pass the shit. My chick a dime piece like 10 pacifists. I'm on the pier with a beer bumping classic hits. They dress the nines just to whine, they just having fits. Rather not make the haul than be there with an asterisk. This the story where the greedy lose to the passionate. Never applaud the street shit, but new people who will clap your shit. So fuck whoever that I might offend it. You just catalyze my rise like a flight attendant. It's in my blood to deal with pressure, I got hypertension. Precise intention, spite incentives, leave them quite defensive. Yeah, fuck a billionaire, I really care. They don't know your market value when you really rare. Bells work, I can show you how up in Hell's Church. All of that crypto can't buy you self-worth. Sway told me have some fun with it. Some higher power gave me heart, so I'ma run with it. Under it, hard to stomach shit, fuck it, bitch, I'ma carry on. Heavy this luggage get, but I'm very strong. Young, and if you gon' wed the game, know it's a marathon. So many people called it very wrong. With me, take it all with me, nothing but gratitude for their platitudes. I just woke up to the sun, good afternoon. I've been moving boulders, working on my shoulders. I've been trying to find the pace. I've been getting older, they've been getting over. Tell me when that's not the case. But I got a little pace now. Said I got a little pace now. I ain't in a race, that's a waste. Trying to castrate my faith, castrate, we good.
Then I keep it up with me. $1.50 slicing through the tape, I clean the plate. Know that they can't really fuck with me. I've been crushing grapes, every word gon' turn to fate. I done learned to discern a friend from a face. See, niggas ain't gon' pull you up unless you drowning in LA. But every soul that stay with me, I keep a crown over their face. Heavy value like a bounty. Call this nigga out the county, know it around me, keeping pace. First place, never drowsy behind the brace. Never lousy behind this laptop. I hit they brain like I'm crack rock. You win the fame in these lanes. I ain't in the games of the back top. And the pain is my match. I don't care for niggas that fast talk. Got dissected like what is you saying? You niggas half off rag bound. Not behind the glass with a pretty flick in the background. Red just like the classic cartoons. You know I come back round. Instead of love the question, wondering if we whack now.
Yeah. I've been moving boulders, working on my shoulders. I've been trying to find the pace. I've been getting older, they've been getting over. Tell me when that's not the case. But I got a little pace now. Said I got a little pace now. I ain't in a race, that's a waste. Trying to castrate my faith, castrate, we good. They say they miss the old craft. No, they don't. That line's for all you cats who got no growth path. Far as I can see, they fucking with the grown craft. Far as I can see, I stay me and I grow that. Far as I can see, you puppets got your nose back. Know that you a tweet away from an exposed deck. We don't need no discussion. Your loyalty don't mean nothing if there's traffic. You just pick a new jersey like the Hudson. Y'all be switching teams. Running from the work, funding isn't worth. I turn an assumption to a perk. Used to lump them in with bunches, couldn't carry my water. Look what I taught them. Yeah. If I ever lost, then I learned. You don't worry about the cost when it's earned. If there's one thing I'm not, it's concerned by the flashy rapper ahead of me. Talking this is turn. Yeah. We'll see whose tank is on what and when. We gon' see who flake when that summer ends. When that easy pavement all under them turn to schemes, mistakes, and all frontin' friends. And these dreams I made from up under them, made from genius, patience, and blood cement, and I win. Ha. I'm about impact, I'm a name yours type of guy. I ain't with the apps, I'm a main course type of guy. I ain't in the mix, I'm a straight pour type of guy. I don't do the scripts, I'm a make yours type of guy. Look, bitch, I'm Robert Dory. Hit the shots that count, so now you can't ignore me. I own all my energy, oh, you can't afford me. You'll see you when we counting up the rings. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Check, 1 2 1 2. How you guys doing today? Almost New Year's. Let's see. Yeah, New Year's is tomorrow night. I'll probably be on. I do want to celebrate with you guys. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm a little bit like under the weather today. Just yesterday was god awful. I got little to no sleep, probably about 4 or 5 hours. And then I spent pretty much the entire day on the road, which sucked. So a little bit sleep deprived, and yeah, just not feeling that well. But let's get started. Hello! What's going on? My hair, I didn't take a shower today because I just woke up at like, I didn't just wake up. I woke up at 9, and then I just been kind of laying on the couch all day because, like I said, been feeling pretty bad. But let's go ahead and talk about the crypto. Let's see. First off, let's say hi to you guys too. Contrarian, what's going on, man? Alex, Joe, Longle, MCM, Gladys, FaZe, Wayne, what's going on? I saw your message, Brian. That sucks, man. I'm very sorry. Alrighty then. So, first in the news, BTC did not go where we wanted to go. It's unfortunate, it is what it is, but it was pretty much perfect. I did not get this trade. Like, I'll be honest with you guys, it slipped out of my hands. Just the holidays and everything. This was literally around Christmas. I was at get-togethers, going to my mom's house, just too busy to look at my phone at that point. But we saw we had an A to the upside, a B to the downside, and a very, very, very short-lived C to the upside. We put in the higher high. It was a legitimate ABC, and we can see that even off of this C wave right here, we had an A, a B, and a C. Now, it's still undecided whether or not this is going to be just a pullback and this is still a part of the C wave and it's just turning into a larger structure. I'm probably going to take that toy away from him. And it's still going to go up to that 57K number. Like I said, it was kind of my hope that it would go up to that high. But we'll see how this works out, because right now what it's looking like is this is an A coming down right here, and we're gonna have another put to the downside, so we might come up a little bit more, who knows. But I do think this is gonna fall through, and we might see a lower low than 42,000. And that would give us a nice large ABC on BTC for the first time in weeks. But that being said, Sushi, on the other hand, I'm so upset about this because I stopped playing Sushi because it was just wrecking me and I wasn't being patient. So I took some time, reassessed, and by the time I kind of got back in the game and was ready to go, it took off. Now, hopefully some of you guys caught it, and this actually answers one of the questions that I commonly get asked, where it's like, hey, what if we don't have an ABC that puts in a lower low? Well, if you look at it, you can see we had A, B, and then we're in the C wave right now. But if we go ahead and look at this correction right here, we can see A, B, and then this was where the C wave ended. But you can see we have a downtrend, an uptrend, and a downtrend. So if you were playing Sushi, this was the most optimal entry right here, $5.30. You could have been holding that pretty much from the absolute bottom, and I probably would start taking profits on it now. Reason being is, yes, he's throwing a temper tantrum. Reason being, yes, the 0.441 is $10.81, and it definitely could still get there. I'm not saying that it can't. But if we look at the trend lines, you guys know me, I'm not a stickler for trend lines, but that being said, we are starting to hit some resistance here. So you can see it has enough headroom for that macro trend line, but this one right here, it's pretty much touching it at this point. We still have a little bit of room to go up. It could still go up to the final target, but nonetheless, if anybody caught that, and I know a couple people did, I was not in that group. that was a fantastic trade. And if I was a little bit more patient, I wouldn't have gotten stopped out so much. Probably would have been in the trade, and that would have been a nice addition to the portfolio. But in terms of this smaller time frame ABC, now it's not small by any means, but comparative to the macro one, we have already surpassed that target at $9 pretty much exactly. So right now, if you take profits or wait a little bit, it's up to you, but definitely a good trade. Sushi outperformed a lot of things. From that bottom, Sushi is pretty much up 100%. Yep. In just a matter of 13 days. Absolutely ridiculous. We called it, but somehow missed it. Very aggravating, but is what it is. US 100. Like I said, I'm not a stickler for this either, but there is some correlation for when this, finds ABCs. Pretty much everything else does well. Right now, it's retesting this previous resistance and trying to find support for maybe a continued push higher. But one thing that we do have to watch out for is particularly this could be a 5-wave set. Now, if you're looking at it, you're probably all like, well, we have a 1, we have a 2, we have a 3, we have a 4. Isn't this the 5th wave, Austin? Yeah, but, Elliott wave is finicky. It's not set in stone. We could definitely have a bump to the upside, and this could be a pretty serious ABC top for all markets. And it kind of makes sense. And I'll tell you why. We discussed in the last live stream that, yeah, I thought it was going to go up for a little bit. Definitely thought it was going to go up to 57K, but we got what we got. Can't throw a fit. But I do believe that this is finished. I mean, we have the macro ABC top that shows clear selling action right there. There's a lot of different reasons for why that could be happening. The wash trading, people just cashing out because they missed their chance last time, multiple different things. But as well as that, the volume has dropped significantly around this area. It's kind of looking like it's turning into a bear market. And it's not the worst thing in the world. Like I said, I do think that this bear market isn't going to be as drastic of a drop as some people are saying, like 10K, 13K. I personally think that we're going to stay above 20K, but we're definitely going to come close to it to scare a couple people out of their bags. But as of right now, a couple different options for how this might work itself out going into the far future. If we do have an ABC correction like this, I would be expecting a bounce back. At that point, I do think that we could reach a little bit higher, but just like right here, we do have to be vigilant of any potential ABCs and hedge them. Like I said, it was just the holidays, busy as hell, buying gifts, wrapping gifts, going places. It sucks, but that's when the market makers struck. They waited until everybody was busy. But after that, I do think that we're going to see a very nasty drop for this second rejection from the all-time high. So a fast C wave coming down, and I don't know if this next C wave, after this kind of completes itself, is going to go past the $28,000 mark. Like I said, eventually I do think there is some sort of structure that will push its way past that, but for right now, still undecided. I'll put away my crystal ball though. Ethereum is in a really weird situation. I mean, it definitely looks toppy. It has an ABC macro top. It's starting a very significant downtrend that it has really struggled to get out. And if we look at this, this definitely will be confusing to a lot of people or aggravating. At this point, you should know how it works. You take the trade because the trade needs to be taken. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Now, if you're playing too small of a time frame, correct yourself like I did. But if you're on this macro time frame and you're taking ABCs like this, there is absolutely no shame if you get stopped out. It's not your fault. It's not the market's fault. It's not the market manipulator's fault. It's just unfortunate. All right. But we have an ABC here, and definitely we could see further upside coming back up here. But if we look at this as a whole, starting from our macro top, we have downtrend, we have uptrend, and I do think that we're going to continue down in this trajectory. Like I said, a little bit upside, but I'm not touching ETH at the moment right now. Like I said, I did want a funding short on Ethereum. I will have to see if there is some sort of structure we can play on the next retest of the upside, if there is one. But I don't know if there will be, because if we go down to the smaller time frames here, like the 30-minute, it's not that significant. But if we look at the entire structure as a whole here on this recent downtrend, we only have an A. Now, I know a lot of people are going to go, well, what about this one, Austin? This is the time frames or the types of structures that we're trying to stay away from here. All right, we don't want to be playing things that are that thin. We want nice, fat ABCs in order to make our money with. So potentially this is all 1A. We're kicking up into a B here. Now, depending on how you're looking at this or what time frame you're looking at it on, we do have kind of an ABC structure right here, coming off of that recent bounce. But I don't know if that's significant enough to say that that's going to bring us down. It could, but much more likely is that we're building the B right now, and we'll have another retest of the upside, trying to break past this resistance right here that it struggled with the past couple of days. And then once we have that swing failure, it should come back down and form a better ABC structure. And as I said, I do think that we're going to see lower than 42,000. But if that just becomes an A and then a C and we get back above this level, I will be re-entering it. And for sushi, since I do believe the market is overly bearish, and this is in a very phenomenal position to be in, all right, an altcoin is potentially at a very massive high and has so much further to go down. And with BTC, if BTC drops 20%, altcoins can drop 50% pretty damn easily. So this has potential to go all the way back down to $5 very, very easily. So in particular, I am watching this high right here. If we get back down below it, I will be re-entering a short position. Or if we continue higher and form some sort of, because this does look all like 1A to me right now, we could see something like this potentially come back down, retest and get a bounce, and then have a breakout failure to force its way back down. In terms of indicators, all right, we don't talk about those too often, but I did want to point out one thing. First off, RSI. Go down to the 1 hour here. We definitely have a massive bearish divergence off of these two highs right here. We can see right here, this is the connecting point to where we are currently. And we have a significantly, well, particularly right here. First off, if we do happen to get to the point where that creates a divergence, we'll see. Because by the time we get back up to $13, if it doesn't want to push that far, I can almost guarantee that this RSI is going to be past the recent all-time high on the RSI, creating that bearish divergence. And that would be a hidden bearish divergence. But on sushi in particular, I was looking at this indicator right here. I know it might be a little bit hard to see. Let me try to give you guys a little bit more space here. This is called MACD Leader, I think. Yeah, MACD Leader by Lazy Bear. Now, if you guys don't know who Lazy Bear is, he's pretty much who wrote the entire code for Market Cipher. But this indicator here, it's pretty much like the VWAP, but a little bit more advanced in terms of it gives you a little bit more information. It's almost like a combination between MACD crosses and RSI, which I find particularly cool for an indicator, because those are the two indicators that I actually prefer to use if I'm going to use that metric. Now, like I said, I don't tend to use indicators on smaller time frames anymore. I use price structures for that. But in terms of general momentum of the market, indicators could be helpful, especially on those 1 hour, 4 hour, 8 hour time frames. But if we go out to the daily here, we can already see a massive bearish divergence off of pretty much just this high right now. Now I do have this this kind of exaggerated. So if we go back down to the default settings, which is 1226, you can see that bearish divergence is quite significant. And I kind of been back testing this. I don't have enough information on it yet to really say anything. Like, I don't know if it repaints or not, but if it does not repaint, this thing's pretty magical in terms of when it crosses the zero line, it does pretty well. So you can see right here on the daily, when it crossed the zero line, we were sitting at, you know, somewhere around $5.87. So I don't think you should be leverage trading on the daily chart with a lagging indicator, but maybe for spot trades, this could help some people kind of decide when to sell and when to buy. Another thing is if you add the MACD signal, you know, or MACD, when we cross right here, pretty much crossing the green over the red, that can be an indication of, hey, it seems to be that when that crosses, it's not the indicator to buy. The indicator to buy would definitely be the red line crossing over the zero line. But it does kind of give you a pre-warning that the market could be turning around sometime in the near future, which, like I said, I don't tend to use indicators all that often. I'm not going to really be relying on this to make my trades for me, but it is something cool to have in the background that kind of combines all the things that I like, RSI and MACD. Taxes are due soon. Hell yeah, they are. I'm already getting prepared. I've been putting away like money every single month so that when they do hit me with those taxes, I'm not, you know, surprised. Best thing that can happen is I overstocked money for my taxes and there's some left over. All right, so let's see. We covered Sushi, BTC, ETH, US 100. Obviously, there's a bunch of other coins to talk about, but one segment that I do want to start doing on this channel a little bit more often, which I just created today, stream questions. So basically, it's in my Discord. There's a chat called Questions for Kite, and obviously those are good if you just need an immediate answer to something. But if you want kind of like a long-winded answer or like something that you can screen record, showing examples, you can ask it here. And then after we get done with the major TA, like the, you know, just getting updated on the market, we can go back and read through these questions and answer some of them. All right, so first two questions came from this one. Could you explain in one of your streams what conditions you would add to a winning trade? So when I was in BTC, we had our original position from this ABC bottom right here. So I was holding along off of that level. And when we had this pullback, I did expect it to just be kind of like a minor pullback. I didn't think it was going to be this severe. So I took the 0.441 of the ABC going to the upside, and I added to my position right here. So 0.382, 0.441, when we have pullbacks, if we are going to find a bottom, that's typically where it's going to be. All right. So like I said in the Questions for Kite channel, make a clear distinction between adding to your position in order to push a liquidation or a stop loss back, all right, so that you don't feel pain, which can make you lose even more if the price does continue going in the wrong direction. Or the correct way to do it is, if you do add to a position, one, have a clear plan. Why add there? That kind of stuff. And as well as that, when you enter your new position, adding margin to your trade, it's going to move your average entry up. Now, if you sell off, you know, however much that you just bought because you don't want to do that, it will still leave your average position there. So you need to make sure this is absolutely what you want to do. Otherwise, you're kind of screwed. All right. And then since your entry moved up, you need to move your stop loss up. A couple of people ask me why, move my stop loss up there, or why don't I put it at my entry point because, this is so much higher. Because I'm willing to lose. All right. And anyways, giving yourself breathing room, no matter what, is always important. I mean, if it gets stopped out and it just went a little bit below your stop loss, you would be kind of mad. But the original trade was 2.5% of the portfolio. When I added margin to it, it came up to 5%. So lost that and currently waiting on a re-entry point. And then moving on. Can you talk about your experience or strategy in your next live stream? I still use the point stop loss, maybe. All right, so that's pretty much the same exact question as this one. He said, I'm still using the 0.5% stop loss. Maybe this is one of the mistakes. It's not a mistake to use a smaller stop loss. I have upped my stop loss to 1%, just trying to be a little bit more cautious. It's not like I think that adding 1% is going to magically increase my win ratio. It's pretty damn close to what the original was, which is just 0.5%. It just gives me a little bit extra breathing room. It might save me a couple stops, but nothing major. All right. If you want to sacrifice a little bit of win ratio for maybe a higher risk to reward ratio, go for it. Nothing's stopping you. All right. It's up to you. If you use it for a while and you find out that you don't like that, try something else. All right. It's very personalized. And then going here. And this person asked, have you heard of Kuma Inu? All right. So obviously I did a little bit of prep work going into this, but let me go find Kuma Inu. So I'm going to give you an example of something to watch out for. All right, so obviously if we go to the coin market cap, we can already see that this is kind of a dodgy project. We have low volume, market cap's not that high, bunch of little red flags here saying they haven't verified the project. I'm not saying if they verify the project that it's automatically good to go and put your money in it. But if we go over here to the contracts and click Ethereum. Now, I know what a lot of people are going to say when I do this. They're going to go, oh, that's just the deployer wallet, blah, 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 blah. All right, I'm going to show you the difference between I don't want to say that. I don't want to say reputable coin, but a coin that was started by somebody, like an entity, and not meant to be, well, it's not necessarily decentralized as it came from a central place. All right. So if we go over here and we hit holders, all right, because the first thing they want to check if you find a token like this, especially a shitcoin, all right, anything that has a dog name now that's not Shiba or Doge, all right, actually just Doge, all right, because Doge has been around since I've been in 6th grade art class, all right, so it's not new. All right, everything else is just following that. All right. All right, this is not loading now. All right, there we go. All right, so if we go to holders, the first thing that you see is that there is a lot of wallets here that hold multiple percentage points. Multiple. All right, 9%, 7%, 5%. All right. On most coins, the most that you'll see is 2%. So there is right here between these three wallets, there is already around close to 50. Well, let's see. Yeah, 15% of the, now I know right here, this might be a different wallet, but these ones right here don't have a name. So we can assume that those are just people. All right. And someone having 10% of the supply to dump on your head, that's market manipulation. All right. And if we click right here, we can see 50%. All right. So we're going to click on this wallet now. All right. And you can see only 2 transactions, 200 days ago, the Kuma Inu deployer. And then right here, 50 days ago. All right, so right here, if we click on address page. Now, correct me if I'm doing any of this wrong, because I don't typically do this a lot. I don't mess around with all this stuff. But, and you can see this is labeled burn. Now, I might be in the wrong here when I say this, but if we look at this, this might be an actual burn wallet for the Ethereum network. I'm not sure. But if we just go through some of these tokens, it's nothing but shitcoins all throughout this. Shitcoin after shitcoin. So that's just kind of a red flag to me. So I might be wrong on this part right here. So I'll leave that alone. But already with those wallets that we saw, 12, 15% being wrapped up by individuals, and as well as that, this massive 50% wallet. So Hex, for example, is a coin that I don't necessarily trust. It's not that, I have any real hate. I'm just very cautious of all these YouTubers that are starting these coins. We saw Tech Lead. I don't know if Richard Hart should be an exception. I don't know why Tech Lead can get away with it and he can't. Now, I know they're different coins in terms of their marketing and what they're meant for, but come on. So if we look at Hex, all right, like I said, I don't necessarily trust it, but one main difference that you're going to see in Hex versus the other wallet, Pulse Chain Sacrifice, 20%. So already 30% less than that massive wallet. And you can see here, the second highest wallet in Hex is only 0.52%. All right, so that that gives me, all right, there's no massive holders that can dump their supply on my head. It's not going to be a rug pull. If anything, it's going to be, if the crypto market goes down and Bitcoin dumps into a bear market, yeah, this coin's going to go down with it, but it's not manipulation. Whereas with something like Kuma Inu, all right, it's a different story. All right, so any more other questions? Hi, Kite. Hope you have a great 2022. You too, man. What coins do you think will do well in 2022? Maybe your top 3. Well, to be honest with you, I don't think any. All right. Hopefully, through trading and kind of playing the swing trades, our portfolios do well, but the coins doing well, I'm not too keen on. Like I said, either we're already in a bear market and most people just don't know it yet, or we might have one more push to the upside before the bear market. Obviously, everybody always dreams and goes, what about this, the super bull market that's supposed to happen? I'm like, what do you think we've been in for the last 15 years? Come on, be real with yourself. All right, it's only been close to 14 years, but the entire thing is a super bull market. So I don't know why you're complaining. All right. So what coins would, I don't think any of them are going to do well in terms of going massively to the upside, but a couple coins to probably DCA into. Monero is the top of my list. And obviously, being the fuddy-duddy granddad of crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, DCA those with your paycheck every other week, 10, 20 bucks here and there, build it up gradually. But Monero, you can take your pick because I get it. It is one of the only cryptos that governments truly dislike. They disliked Bitcoin, but now they see it as a massive tax revenue, and they can track it pretty easily because whenever you sign up to any exchange, unless it's some shady one, you pretty much don't have to, you have to give some sort of KYC for tax purposes. So they're cool with Bitcoin. But Monero, you see them banning it all over the place in Europe and everything like that because it's the only coin that really threatens the governments. which is why I love it so much. All right. So, I mean, depending on if you're scared whether or not you won't be able to sell it in the future because maybe you're, you know, high remoted typing, trying to get his chance in, you know, that's up to you. Basic attention token, I think is a good coin, personally, just from a fundamentalist perspective. You can earn them free through using Brave browser and stuff like that. It's a pretty good coin. And then New Mayor. I watched the Lex Ferdinand interview with, I don't know if it was the head of New Mayor, but it was someone that worked with them. And just listen to them talk and kind of what the project is about. I'm not going to try to over-explain it here. Go watch that interview. Look up NMR Lex Ferdinand and watch it if you're interested. But those are some coins to DCA into. Yeah. And then can you go over the top reason why people may not be profitable trading ABCs? I still find myself breaking even. Some people say only trade 1 or 2 coins, and others say take any ABC you see. Within reason, not the low time frames. So pretty much what it comes down to is this just might not be the time is right. I don't know how long you've been using them, maybe like a month or 2, maybe 3 months. But I definitely have not been doing well in the market for quite a while. Like, we cashed out the portfolio here, you know, actually right here at 63K, and then restarted. And it has been absolute shit show ever since we restarted. Absolutely dog for like the last 50 days. So right now, you know, and part of that is on me, you know, not paying attention because, you know, I'm too busy or being too eager, playing small time frames. That's what kind of led to that destruction. But no, there's always a time and a place, and have multiple accounts. So you can play small time frame ABCs like the 15-minute and 30-minute, but have trades that are going on for a lot longer. So like right here, for example, we have a massive ABC to the downside, right? You could have 2 accounts or 3 accounts. One of them is holding on to this position right here for, you know, 180 days, seeing how high we go. While some of them are only taking advantage of small time frame ABCs like this. Have backup plans. Don't just be a one-trick pony. As well as that, diversify. You know, DCA, you know, get an index fund, stuff like that. As well as that, risk has a huge factor to play with it. So obviously we do the challenge accounts here on the YouTube channel just because they're fun, and when we grow them into massive amounts, it feels good. But if you're playing with your own money, for me, the money that I put into these challenge portfolios, I can replace several times over and over and over again until, you know, one finally hits, you know, 50, 60K or whatever it might be. But if you're playing with your own money and you put in $1,000 and you can't afford to replace a $1,000 portfolio 5-6 times, you have no business using $1,000 in the first place. As well as that, because these challenge portfolios are high risk, high reward for me, I'm using 2.5%, 5% when the account first starts. So yeah, you can get wrecked real fast. And then when you combine that with revenge trading and just being impatient, you got a recipe for disaster. So stick to 0.25%, 0.5%, 1%. All right. And just keep using it. Play the macro ones when they need to be taken. You know, try not to go too small of a time frame to take those scalp trades, and let it ride. Because eventually the market will shape up. And as well as that, you know, your patience for waiting for proper ABCs, I still struggle with it. All right. So don't think it's going to happen overnight. And just let it go. Market isn't always kind. He was kind. He was important. Please, Bitcoin. All right. Any other questions? Did you check out Floki? Floki. Yikes. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't think Floki's going anywhere. I know there's a couple people in my group that are very pro Floki, but you gotta be serious with yourself, guys. These coins, alright, they're shit coins. They're shit coins. Alright, now it's okay. It's okay to make money off of shit coins, but don't convince yourself that it's gonna go on forever. Especially, like I said, if we're already in a bear market or potentially going to be in one soon. And a lot of these coins, Floki, Shiba, you can name probably another 100. All right, even if they're not direct rug pulls where it goes straight to zero, a lot of the times they have their very, very nice, massive, 10,500, 20,000% pump. And then after that fact, they're kind of over and done with. All right, so I don't know. I'm not going to be getting into anything like this anytime soon. But that's just my 2 cents. Yeah, like this right here. We had a massive pump to the upside during the bull market. So many percentage points it came and displayed on my screen. Yeah, it can't even display all those percentage points. But I don't know, if you want me to treat this as a regular technical analysis, this looks like one massive A, this looks like a B coming down, and we might have one more pump to the upside. Who knows? And this could be our ABC right now. But I can't with any confidence say those coins are going to pump. All right, because with coins like that, if I say it's going to pump, people just go throw money into it every time. But hold on, there's one more question. I heard of XHV. It's built on Monero and allows you to seamlessly convert to private. You have probably just. That actually sounds pretty interesting. HV. Haven protocol. Is this the correct website? What is? Okay, maybe this. It doesn't seem like it's got a whole lot of volume yet. This is kind of ridiculous. I don't know, but maybe in the future, it could look a little bit better than this. But no, that's actually pretty cool. Thank you for showing me that. They need a lot of work on their interface. I'll tell you that. If they want to compete with anybody, this is disgusting to look at. But no, that's pretty cool. Let me check out the XHV. And I'm gonna keep an eye on this. But thank you for showing me that. I appreciate it. What's your next sushi short? So we talked about it when I first started the live stream, but right now, if we come back below $9.95, somewhere around here, if I zoom in a little bit, I can get a more accurate price point. About $9.93, probably be a good point to short. But like I said, this does look like all 1A to me. Now, it could be super thin, all right, because it was a very explosive upside trend. And obviously we have this ABC right here. But this could turn into something like this. And at that point, I was short from a higher point. Yeah. Okay. Closing off the Discord questions for now. Because I don't want it to seem like I'm just prioritizing the Discord. Obviously, I do want to answer questions from the live stream. Let me pop this chat out real quick. You said check out the BTC rich list. Now, BTC has been around for a lot longer than a lot of these shitcoins. So I kind of give it a pass. If we do the percentages on some of these, like obviously, I believe this is the Satoshi wallet. But it says last transaction time 6/2021. So I don't know if that is the Satoshi wallet. But if we do the percentages on a lot of these, I don't think that these are like 10% or anything like that. And some of these actually might be exchange wallets. Unless they filter that out. I'm not sure if they do. But it's more conceivable that, 6-7 years into Bitcoin's creation, people kind of caught on and they've had a lot more time to dedicate money to their HODL portfolios. And at some point, you're so deep in profit, it's almost inconceivable that it will, you'll lose it all. Obviously, there's always that chance. All right. We don't live in a perfect world. But they're not afraid to just continue adding to their portfolio pretty much all the time. So they've had, 14 years to decide to continue to do that. Whereas these shitcoins, they've been alive for like 1 month. If someone owns 10-20% of it, they either are planning a rug pull, or maybe they're just some dumb rich billionaire. Who knows? You don't really have to be a billionaire to buy all these shitcoins. Guy, what do you think about real estate? Buy a house and rent it? I've thought about it, and I do believe that either this year or next year, I'm planning on buying some property and a home. I have to kind of ask some people that I trust, like kind of what that process looks like. I've heard a couple different things where like you buy a property, you refurbish it, and then you refinance it. I'm not sure how that whole process works, and you end up getting more. Like I said, it's not my field of expertise, so it's not something I've even really dipped my toes into yet. Africa, good night, dude. Have a good one. Hey Kite, thanks for all the knowledge, man. For real. So do you feel that BTC cycle hasn't extended, like all the other YouTubers are saying, or an extended cycle? I'm not saying that it's not extended. I mean, already, all right, in all the histories of bull markets, never once have we put in an all-time high, came back down as far as we did, and then go put in another one. All right. We've never done that. All right, you could say that this is one massive bull market right here, but you know, at this point in time, when these were kind of going on, these were very, very separate events. You know, this was the bear market, this was the bull market, and you can see as time went on, they start extending how long they take in order to work themselves out. So I mean, already, all right, if we're considering the absolute bottom from the last bull market to bear market, I mean, come on, it's already extended. We have been in a bull market, you know, bull market, depending on how you want to look at it, all it means to me is that we are in an uptrend and we have not put in any lower lows from the recent low. All right, in terms of the macro scale, this was our recent low. All right. We've been in this for 1,100 days. All right, 1,100 days. If we're taking the low of the previous bull market to the bull market top, all right, 1,083 days. So we're kind of in that region right now. Right here, 236 days. Now, if you want to count this all together, 800 days. So you can see 800, 1,100. So right now, like I said, we could have one more push to the upside, but price action doing that not too good. All right, I'm just going with the flow of things. But in terms of extensions, all right, if we're going off of kind of like what I said, where we don't put any lower lows in from the previous bull market, like I said, I don't think that this is going to be, you know, a gigantic dump to the downside or anything like that. I think that this is going to be a long, drawn out, sideways price action, all right, and then gradual parabolic slope to the upside, just like usual. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the past doesn't indicate future results. I mean, we live in a different time. You know, Corona kind of fucked up the financial system to the point where, like, nobody really bats an eye that they're just pumping money into things. They said they were going to raise the interest rates to kind of stifle inflation. Who knows if they're really going to do that? It could continue going up just because they continue pumping money into these markets. But that's a dangerous, dangerous game. So, could be wrong. The U.S. financial system could cause Bitcoin to continue to go up. But we live day to day around here. Well, week to week. But let's see. Is there anything else I want to kind of cover? Like I said, I'm not feeling all too well today. So usually once we got to this point, I'll kind of just chill out and talk with you guys. But tonight, I think I'm going to clock out. I got a PS5. So because I bought the PS5, I stayed up all night playing Spider-Man and Ratchet and Clank. And that caused me to get no sleep and then be on the road all day long, which the driving conditions were terrible. All right. Pretty much like it was raining super hard, but the ground was still blazing hot because for some reason the past couple of days have been tremendously hot. So it was steaming off the ground, and obviously when cars are going past you, it flings it all up into the air. And I don't even know how we made it home because that was terrifying. People are just dumb too. I was like in the speed limit was 65. I'm in the right-hand lane. All right, far right-hand lane, going about 55 because nobody can see shit. All right, but people were going like 85 in just terrible conditions. And then you always have those assholes that, ride your bumper in the right lane when the two left lanes are completely open. The passing lanes are completely open, but yet you choose to ride my bumper. So I was screaming pretty much the entire day at just people being dumb. Monkey brains. You can train it, but you can never help it. I'm living proof. But yeah, I bought the PS5 for like $700 off of Craigslist. I know I'm perpetuating the scalping that's going on because, for every person that buys a PS5 overpriced, it just kind of, re-solidifies the fact that people can sell it for that much. But, I thought to myself, the PS5, it has an SSD. It can do 60 hertz pretty much all the time. And in some games, not all games, but like Ratchet and Clank, for example, it's a pretty demanding title, I would think. But you can play it at 120 hertz. Obviously, they lower some of the settings, but the fact that a console can play at 120 hertz and you can change the visual settings and it has an SSD, I feel like that's worth $700. Right? It's kind of hard to build a $700 PC nowadays that can, kind of keep up with that. So, I thought to myself, I was like, $700 is not that bad for a PS5. All right. The fact that they can get the price down to $500 in the first place, obviously because they're a big company, they can wholesale parts and stuff like that, so they make their profit. But I feel like $700 is a reasonable price. I know it sucks because, typically consoles have always been like $500. But it is what it is. If we want better things, we got to pay more money. It's like a lot of games that are releasing in the future are going from $60 to $70. They've been $60 for like pretty much my entire life. So the fact that they haven't increased already, taking into account inflation and the amount of time and effort that needs to go into these new games, I think it's fair. A lot of people complain because they're, what they have come to know and expect has been kind of trifled with. But come on. Times are changing. Terrible inflation. And hey, if these gaming companies are actually making the, decent profit, maybe they can pay their employees more, or maybe hire more employees so the people don't have to sit in the office for 2 weeks straight, time crunching for the next release. You know, support what you love. All right, paying an extra $10, yeah, it sucks, but hey, if they sell 80 million copies, all right, that additional $10, that's $80 million that they can use to develop the next game, hire more employees, or pay their employees better for the work that they are doing. But all right, guys, I appreciate you, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be doing like a full live stream. I don't even know if I'll be doing TA if anything really hasn't changed. But if I'm at the house tomorrow and, up for it, I might play like Call of Duty or something. And we can kind of chill out. For anybody that doesn't have a New Year's date, you can be mine. But all right, guys, I want to log off now. I am just going to probably watch Netflix and, I don't know, order food. As well, I joined the Planet Fitness, and I'm not going to say that I've been consistently going, but I've been a good number of times. And each time I go, I do an hour on the treadmill, and then kind of slowly been working my way with the weights and everything like that. I've been a lot more active, since getting the ADHD medication. Been going out more, washing my car, every other day. Not just my car, washing, my cousin's car and stuff. But I've already lost like 13 pounds. So I'm feeling good. Besides being a little bit sick today. It's not like a sickness in terms of like, I'm like coughing and throwing up. It's like a nauseating feeling because my body just has not gotten enough rest. Awkward stare. Let's go. It's our tradition. It's how it's got to be. Thanks, Kite. You a legend. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. See you next year. I always hated people in school that would say that. Like in school, you typically get like 2 weeks, a week and a half, 2 weeks, depending on how stupid your school is. And then you guys come back after New Year's. You always have those kids that go, see you next year. I get it. It's cute. It is what it is. Do you not want to stay for a little bit longer? You think that we're going to get 39K pretty soon? So you're asking for me to stay, and you're hoping that we get a flash crash all the way down. Like I said, I do think that, we're going to see past 42 and possibly come back down to this local low, but I don't know. You can't always count on a flash crash, even though that's kind of been the norm. Flash crash, flash crash, flash crash. This one wasn't really a flash crash. Once we got down to this point and lost, this support right here, it was definitely a flash crash. That was at least respectable. But nah, I'm too tired. Do interval fasting, drink only water. Yes. But you're saying don't go to the gym? Don't be active? But no, like I at this point I'm pretty much doing intermittent fasting. Like I said, I mean, I've had awesome results in the past. You know, when I was about 18, I weighed like 185, 190, and I did the warrior diet, which is 4-hour eating window and then only water in between. And I did that for probably about 5 months. I ended up dropping all the way down to 155. Looked good, felt great. It was a very, very good feeling. You know, I hate to say I did it for a girl, and I wish that I had enough foresight to, you know, figure out that I should have just been doing it for me, because, you know, I felt great at the time. But no, I totally get that. I love intermittent fasting. Like I said, I pretty much do it now. The medicine that I take really doesn't make me eat. It kind of prevents me from eating, or that when I do eat, I end up eating a lot less. So all right, guys. Happy New Year's. I should see you tomorrow, but if not, Happy New Year's. And hopefully this year is killer. Let's go ahead and switch it to... before we switch it, let me go ahead and figure out what we're going to play. I think we're just going to play more Marlon Craft. Like I said, I don't really have any more new music. So... yeah, we'll just play like these two right here. So we'll start this one and this one in the queue. All right, guys. Let's switch. Bye.
Need that. You can keep that. I've been on my shit already. Even in the major leagues, still a walk in the park for me. I made it out of the dark, it's not enough. The fuck do you want from me? Please keep that weak shit from me. They ain't pay attention to the thesis. It's the return of Shuttlesworth, Black Jesus, check it out, baby.
Still listen to J Electron to free my thoughts. It's still a tug of war with my needs versus my wants. Hard for simple minds to find genius in this savant. Standing bold on my words, no italicizing the font. Surrounded by debutantes, claiming they confidants. Now y'all niggas to me, they can't exist in my ambiance. If I'm being honest, my environment made leviathans. Had to see monsters grow here without biotin. Fellas look for goddess like Rikers and find enlightenment. Got most of their questions answered on the island like Iverson. What? I grew up on quiet girls like Mariah Carey, and those who let the chopper sing with no license to carry. In the metropolis where spouses get traded for the block and vows get exchanged for ungodliness. Found God in silence and operated in opulence. Built with some real ones in a world full of counterfeit Washington. So it's deeper than rap. Hard to feed the people fiction who believe in the facts. I'ma leave it at that. For what it's worth, the second coming of Shuttlesworth, the people screaming Jesus is back. Yeah, and
I've been on my shit already. Even in the major leagues, still a walk in the park for me. I made it out of the dark, it's not enough. The fuck do you want from me? Please keep that weak shit from me. They ain't pay attention to the thesis. It's the return of Shuttlesworth, Black Jesus, baby.
I gotta get drunk to cry so I don't judge myself. Definitely think I'm kinda cool, try and love myself. Try lending hands to a few that didn't want my help. I tried to recommend a path, they didn't want my Yelp. Can't say I ain't tried, the answers in their ojos like I see the A&A. A lot of cats get the platform just to tell stadium lies while we clap for them and wait for their gravely demise. Wanna ride to the top, what's the shuttle's worth to you? Tell me what it's learned to you. We was cheating in class, dudes got decent in math, but can't imagine what some decency that, or what beef and subtract. Shouting go ahead king, but commit treasonous acts. Dreaming of stats and only record broken is me repeating the facts. Try and live in the present, not drown in the future, but still knee deep in the past. So let's just
I've
leave
been
it
on
at
my
that.
shit already. Even in the major leagues, still a walk in the park for me. I made it out of the dark, it's not enough. The fuck do you want from me? Please keep that weak shit from me. They ain't pay attention to the thesis. It's the return of Shuttlesworth, Black Jesus, baby.
Keep that weak shit away like it's Saturday, man. No weak shit. Make sure you get inside of that weak shit. I tried to figure out how to fit that into the verse, but I couldn't do it. Oz.
Hey, this is Chube, and you're listening to Every Bad Day Has Good News.
Caterpillars turning into butterflies, then back into caterpillars. Never taught to run it high, never taught to stand $1 million. That's a subtle size. Never taught to shuck and jive, never. I rhyme solo in sight, Bojo psychologist. Your fans fuck with you, but not monogamous. I've caught Z's on dorm room floors, smells of vodka on hungover AMs, and daydreamed about packing out stadiums when I'm bored. I wear my floors like Buscemi puffers, relentless efforts, heavy pressures, and empty summers. Send the number. Send a calling, is my calling numbered? Is your stalling studded? Is your balling for others? My B-side sounds like A-sides. My daytimes cross the state lines and intertwine space and size. Data and crime, agents and pride, stainless facades. Playlist a proverb and make it a tribe. Make you subscribe and make us a lime. I hope you make it in time. I know I'm vacant and slime to you, but fuck it, it's the cost for my mind. 7 leaf clovers and white claws. Flutes bring the peace out the pythons. And fleece from a Nikon. Slide through life like socks on nylon. Even King Kong's biggest prize was a Viacom. Dominican debutante keeps a healthy debit card. The DJ shot us out this much because we extra large. The DJ shot us out this much because we extra large. Everybody has a hard life. Everybody has limitless within their reservoir, my lord. $1 billion in the Buick with a city credit score. I guess I'm the greatest, at least the latest one. Yo, caterpillars turning into butterflies, then back into caterpillars. Never taught to run it high, never taught to stand $1 million. That's a subtle size. Never taught to shuck and jive, never.
Only jive I'm all in record was the Jackson 5. Back when I was learning ABCs, I laid these themes. These days it seems we more judged on our reaction time than how we adapt with time. Shit, and that's a crime. Think I'm good now, baby, wait until I'm actualized. Adding organic to the organs of the culture. What you want me to wait until dudes metastasize? What you want me act like it ain't basic, bitch, Halloween year round? Like I don't see all these cast disguise. Shit. It's the bash for Blanquito, turned rapper, lost ego, found joy and got free, bro. I really feel like if they did the work, they could've got it. Bosh free throws, pride injured, got y'all on street clothes, I'm in the gym. Chris Brickley in my inner child, he gon' be a beast. He got taken from me young, so lately I've been Liam Neeson. Deep convos with my soul, like yo, feel free to speak, playing with tenseness. Learning all that shit was a lesson. Cause come throwback Thursday, ain't tryna be Mitchell and guessing. Think if I stay the same me, might get a different reception. When you keep your honor, they got objections. But I'm comfortable like, few more years and I could probably cry in front of you. I'm comfortable like, I ain't doing shit I don't wanna do. I'm comfortable like, feel like my time's arrival's punctual. I ain't gotta get blunt with you. If I'm talking, that's already blunt with you. Cool, calm, and crafty fools on futons. Try sue young, my taxi, but let the kids nap. Tell them the king's back. We wasn't here before, but what we embodied was. Cause caterpillars turning into butterflies, then back into caterpillars. Never taught to hum a lie. Ain't so much the state that we in at this point in the cycle. No, regardless that we gon' reprise. Caterpillar.